What's going on? It is time for a huge announcement today. This is one that has been in the works for probably 3 years now. So I'm really, really excited for this conversation today. But before we dive into the conversation, I just got to say, Treasure, welcome to the Fast Forward movement in eXp Realty. We are freaking stoked to have you. I am stoked to talk to you today. But first, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So, first, for people who are watching this who have never met you before, don't know anything about you, just give us a little background real quick on you and your team.
Yes. So I've been licensed since 2005. And last year, our team sold 450 homes. This year, we're at 80 closed and pending. So we are on the fast track this year, having a great year and having a great time. And I have a team of, as of yesterday, 15 sales agents. What produced those numbers last year was about 10 of us. We hired a lot during COVID, but they're getting up and running. So 10 of us did all that last year. We have really high agent productivity. Kyle will save all of his jokes for another venue. And I'm native to Colorado Springs. We focus on the military. We have 5 military bases here. I have a ton of family that's active duty, retired. And so it's just very near and dear to my heart. For sure.
All right. So you previously were with a large franchise, and a couple years ago, year and a half ago, you ventured out to start your own brokerage, and now you're making a move to eXp. So what made you go from the big franchise to independent? And then what made you go from independent to coming over to eXp?
I loved my broker at the large franchise. I was there for a decade, but there were just some things that I couldn't do to be true to myself and to the company and what I wanted to do. And I think for me being for me, I wanted to see and what it looked like. And so we made the decision to go independent, kind of took some time to do things we wanted to do. And, you know, we never made an announcement like this when we left the big brokerage. We never did it because we wanted to respect our broker and never cause waves. And now we're doing the exact opposite and trying to create waves. So it's just a very different mindset. So as great as it was to have my own brokerage and do my own thing, I decided I didn't really want to be a broker. I think a lot of people are like, I want to be a broker, but I didn't want to do the compliance piece of it. I wanted to be able to love on my agents and do what was the best for them. And when we looked at this decision, it was a unanimous decision. And that rarely happens on our team because we really want everybody to have a voice. And so it's very hard. And this was a unanimous decision for everybody to make. And we're doing it for the stock opportunities for our agents. We're doing it so that I'm not running compliance. We're doing it for the, the iBuyer program that eXp has. I mean, there's a million reasons why we're doing it, but it's offering things to people that I couldn't offer them on my own.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be the broker too, and I do not miss that broker piece. You know, there's this saying, the key or the root word of brokerage is broke, because there are very few brokers out there that are actually turning a profit. And it's because they're spending so much of their time and energy and attention on putting fires out. You know, you're just dealing with all kinds of dumb stuff, where you can join a brokerage and offload all of that liability, right? But you still get to operate as the Treasure Davis team. You keep your logo, you keep your colors, you keep your brand, you keep your image. The only difference is now you're just brokering all that liability, all that headache. You're letting eXp take all of that off your shoulders. so that you can do what you do best, which is to be one of the most badass female leaders in the country. And now you get to just put on those blinders and block out all that nonsense that you had to deal with before. And now you're just focused. Like, how do I grow my team? I mean, 80 deals already this year. Like, it's insane. We beat you by 3 last year. I'm just saying, beat you by 3, but it's cool. But I have a feeling you're going to smoke us this year. I have a feeling you're going to smoke us if you're at 80 already.
You beat us by 3, but let's count the number of people.
I know. That is where I have mad respect for what you do. To close 40 plus deals per agent is mind boggling. And I think that's a testament to your leadership. And I think now that you offload some of that headache, I mean, there's no reason that that's not going to push to 50 or even higher, or allow you to multiply that from 10 agents to 20 or 20 to 30, but still retain, 30 or 40 plus deals per agent, which is amazing.
Yeah. One thing, first of all, I'm not for this. Like, I have a badass team. I would not be where I am without them. I don't want to be where I am without them. I hope they're all watching right now. They are incredible. But what we know is when we do this many transactions, it's only a matter of time. And a lot of people talk about, profit share and revenue share and all this stuff. That's all great. But at the end of the day, it's like, how can I really impact my agents? And how can I come alongside of them in their journey? And how can I do better for my clients? And this offered a platform to compete with the disruptors for me to come alongside of them. And that's something we haven't been able to offer before. But I mean, I have to give my team mad props. I wouldn't be where I am without them. And they said when we were making the decision, like, anything that takes a little bit of pressure off Treasure, we're all in. And that's incredible. So it's been a wild journey. It's been 16 years, and we're really excited for the future and where it's going to take us. And
yeah, I think one of the things that's cool this week has obviously been a crazy week for EXP and for the stock. It's had a crazy week since they announced it's going to split, but I've gotten to hear so many amazing stories over the last week, and I've shared a lot of those stories with you, where there's stories of people paying off their car, people paying off all their credit card debt, people paying off student loans, people funding their kids' college educations. I even talked to a couple of people in the last week that literally paid their houses off. One of the people in our group's buying a office for his company, like buying an actual commercial office building. Like, the things that this company is allowing us to do is like, that doesn't exist when we were independent. Like, to add this is pretty crazy.
Yeah, the stocks alone. I mean, you shared some really cool stories. Let Nixon be Nixon. Don't look back there.
I'm telling her to come. She can be on video and cry.
She can. Yeah. She's my favorite whistle. First, it's Nixon, your wife, and then the pig.
Bottom of the list. I got it.
And then you. Like, yeah. The pigs are definitely up there too. So we're just really excited for this. Kyle and I have been friends for 6 years now?
It's been a while.
Yeah. And just kind of watching your growth and having you be an amazing mentor. I mean, my entire career, I've been surrounded by amazing mentors. And I'm thankful that you're one of them. And, just coming alongside of us in 2020, which was a really hard year, honestly, for everybody. But just coming alongside all the different challenges and things that came up, trying to run a team, trying to keep everybody safe and healthy, and homeschooling my kids, and just everything. I was just like, there are certain things that I want to do and certain things that I want to be true to myself on. And not being a broker and being able to have my team lead and follow their dreams while coming alongside of them and giving them platforms for, potential healthcare options, potential stock options. That's something that really speaks near and dear to my heart.
So what I got to ask, right? There's a lot of people who've had EXP pitched to them, right? Like, let's be honest, there's a million people out there screaming from the rooftops about EXP and all of these stock and revenue share. And a lot of times people ask me, like, what's the worst part of EXP? And I'm like, it's that. It's the fact that all these people are constantly, texting, emailing, calling, posting on social, join EXP, join EXP. But then think about this, like, if that's the worst problem that we have as a brokerage, is that everybody's screaming from the rooftops about it, like, that's a good problem to have, because when's the last time you saw a Remax broker shout out about their brokerage? When's the last time you saw a Berkshire Hathaway agent shout out about the brokerage? Like, you just don't see that. So this is going to be a fun one when we're done. You just don't see other people shouting that out, right? But you and I first had a conversation 3 years ago about this. Like, why didn't you move then? And why are you choosing to move now?
This is a spicy question, Kyle.
Because there's a lot of people who are watching this, right, that have been pitched over and over and over again. Sometimes they've been pitched, appropriately, and sometimes it's just join this company and make $1 million because you're going to retire rich and live on an island doing nothing, which we obviously know is not the truth. So, being that you've been pitched for 3 years now, why did you finally make the decision to make the move? Because I know other people have been thinking about it but haven't done it. Why did you finally do it?
If we can talk about the pitch, that is definitely the top thing that kept me away, was people coming alongside and saying, come for the revenue share, come over. And I was like, that is not the reason that I would ever come over to a company, was because of revenue share or profit share or any other kind of share. I just wouldn't do it. And there were some people that pitched it well, and there were some people that pitched it really terribly. People telling me, I had a call the other day and someone said, if you would have come over last year, you would have made X number of dollars. And I was like, okay. And I was like, well, actually, I'm making the move. And she's like, oh, I wish I would have called you sooner. And I was like, see, that's the problem in real estate, is people think that it's transactional, but it's a relationship. Kyle and I have had a relationship. Tammy Pack, Mary Maloney, Dan Beer, Veronica, I can name a million people that have come alongside the journey and impacted me in ways of just providing value and not looking for something in return. And I think that that's something that realtors lose track of, is just what's in it for me all the time. And so for us, that's been really beneficial. Was he's leaving. Kyle is leaving the building. No, just kidding. For us, it was really, people coming alongside of us and impacting us in our journey. And Kyle's approach was never come over because of revenue share, come over because of this. It was really and for those of you that don't know Kyle, he does have a really big heart, but he never wants to show it to people. But when you see that little bit of a Grinch heart, he has it for his wife and his daughter, and that's impressive to see. And he has it when he talks about his agents and the impact he's been able to have on their life. And so when you see those true moments, it really brings out another side, and you're like, gosh, if I could impact my agents in the same way, then that would be impactful for me. Because they always say, when you volunteer, when you give back, you are the one that gets, the rush, the dopamine rush of those feelings of being able to give back. And so being able to give back to my agents and to people looking to buy and sell and offering them things we couldn't offer them is something that's really attractive to me. But I would say, more importantly than that, who you sign up with, who is your broker and who is your mentor, that matters more than anything. You are the 5 people you surround yourself with. And that's the one thing that I love, is that this is a true mastermind. It's bringing constant value. It's never about the other stuff that's there. That'll just happen when it happens. Whenever you pick a niche, or whenever you pick a farm, or you volunteer for a nonprofit, when you do it for the right reasons, the business always follows. You never have to lead with that foot. And so I really think that by doing this the right way and with the right foot, the rest of it's all going to work itself out the way it's meant to. That's just really my approach on it. And so Kyle and I have been He's been a mentor of mine for a long time. I mean, and it's just cool to see everybody and what they've been able to do in their business. And I mean, I already feel like I'm saying from the time we started talking to now, I think the stocks have gone up like 30 some dollars. But it's like, still wasn't the right time. Like, this is the right time for me and in my journey and what we're trying to do. None of the rest of it matters. And we talked about that. We talked about, because that was one of my objections as well, was, I've already kind of missed the boat. So, what does it really matter? And I think it was just really you taking the time to explain, like, it's a mastermind. This other stuff is over here, but it's the mastermind piece of it. And I've only been introduced to it for like the last, 12 hours. And it's already so incredible to be in a mastermind with all those agents.
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow you're going to get to jump on our first one. We have 2 mastermind groups within Fast Forward. And the one tomorrow, we have over 50 people in our group doing $50+ million in production. And we come together, on a regular basis, masterminding, just figuring out, how do we elevate our businesses? How do we help our agents do more? How do we help our clients get more? Like, how can we all learn from each other? Because the magic here that makes the revenue share important, right? Because everybody talks about the revenue share and it's like, get rich quick and retire on an island, never work again. That's not what it's about. The revenue share is very, very important, but it's not those reasons. The revenue share is important because I have a financial interest in helping you grow. Dan Beer has a financial interest in helping you. Did 7 million GCI last year. Curtis Johnson in Arizona. Chuck Fazio built a 900-person independent brokerage. Jay Kinder, Michael Reese, one of the top Coldwell Banker agents in history, and built one of the largest coaching companies in the nation. Like, all of those people have a financial interest in helping you and your team grow. And the bigger your team gets, the more homes you sell. As you win, we all win together. Like, this is the epitome of, if you help others get what they want, you will get what you want. And so the more that all of us pour into you, and the more successful you are, we're thereby successful as a result of that. And that's the really cool thing about this company. And it's the thing that I think doesn't get talked about enough. Yeah, the stock is cool, right? Can you get rich on it? Maybe. Who knows? I don't know what the hell the stock's going to do. It's been a huge week up. Next week could be a huge week down. Like, I don't want somebody to come over to the company because of the stock. I can't control the stock. And I don't really want somebody to come for the revenue share either, because I don't know if you're going to attract a ton of agents or you're going to attract no agents. But what I want people to come over to our group for is the masterminding. Because if we can help people grow, right? We took Jeremy Larson up in Northern California from 9 million as a solo agent. The next year, 30 million as a small team. The next year, last year did 100+ million in 2 years. Like, I want to help more people do what Jeremy did, right? Like, that's what I want to do. How can we help others grow like that? Because then what's going to happen is other people make that kind of growth. What's going to happen along the way is Jeremy's going to have accumulated some stock for himself. It's a company award stock. There you are. Come on.
Daddy, why didn't you answer me?
I answered. Come say hi to Treasure.
Daddy.
No? Show her your purple hair. There you go. Come here.
Daddy, why don't you come downstairs?
Okay. See, this date stamp said that it's during COVID. She actually has it right now, by the way. I'll be down in a minute, sweetie. But right, Jeremy's accumulated a lot of stock, right? Because as you go do your job, the company awards stock to you. You get the opportunity to purchase stock at a discount. Like, that happens organically as his production increases. Also, as his production increases, now everybody's reaching out like, Jeremy, how did you do that? How did you go from 9 to 30 to 100 in 2 years? And it's like, I plugged into the mastermind group. People are like, well, what's this mastermind group about? And it's like, well, I'm surrounded by all these people that have a vested interest in my success. People are like, wow, that sounds amazing. And now he's building up a revenue share group for himself. But it happens because of the production. And so the more we can do to mastermind and help everybody grow their production, all that other stuff is going to follow. But our group, it's all about how do we help you grow. So now you have 7 people who have a truly vested interest in your success. And so we're excited to lean into you and help you grow. And we're excited for you to share, because I know we have a lot to learn from you.
Nixon is not having this. Nixon wants her dad. She needs to go take the quad out for another drive.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. That's gonna be how I make it up to her. Is let her go ride.
Yeah. She wants her dad. And that's just something that I think we've all learned in 2020 is how to be resilient and how to just really roll with the punches. Like when we're having technology glitches, when our kids are screaming in the background, when we're trying to homeschool and lead a team and sell a house and do all these things, like how do we do it? And who are the people that stand beside you when you have really tough years? And that's really what I learned in 2020. One of the many things I learned in 2020 is, who really stands beside you. And one of the things that really stood out to me, and I'm not going to get emotional about it, but when my dad passed away and you sent that video to me, it was just a couple of seconds. It wasn't anything long. And I was like, that's really nice because it showed that it wasn't just about trying to recruit me or trying to do this or trying to do that. Like those texts and those messages that everybody sent and poured across the country, like people gave to me when I had nothing to give back. And that's really the impact of the ecosystem. That's really the impact of the industry. And I think in this fast forward movement, it's going to be a fast forward movement.
Well, we are very honored and excited to have you be a part of it. I know there are a lot of ladies in the group that are very excited as well, because being a mom is not an easy thing, nor is being a dad. But it's going to be really, really fun to have you be a part of the group. What are some of the things your agents are most excited for?
Number one, they're excited to have the liability come off of me. That's what they said from the beginning. And Allie on my team is the one that said it in our team meeting. And that was just so great. I know so many other people on our team feel that. It's also been, I think that they're excited for the stock potential because we've talked to other people at EXP. Christy Jinks, who's amazing, and just said, what do you like? How do you feel? What's going on? And just to hear her personal story of what it's done has been amazing. And there's just so much, there's so many powerful women in here that have accomplished what we have and more that I'm excited to mastermind with them and really just see where this road takes us.
Yeah, it's gonna be, I just had to offer her a quad ride. It's gonna be nice and quiet, so we're good. But the team thing is so fun. It's so fun to get the text messages from the team where they're, they saved a ton of money on the healthcare because they get to opt into a group healthcare plan. I know one of our agents is saving like almost $1,000 a month with the healthcare. It's fun when my agents let me know that, they were able to go afford a new car that they couldn't afford before because of, the stock, which is, done amazing, or the agents who've just put a little attention on attracting agents into the company. And, now one of my agents, they will just put a pool in his house, and have it ready for the summertime. Like, it's just so cool as a leader to be able to provide those things to our agents, because like we just couldn't do that when we were independent. Like that didn't exist. I could have given my agent stock in the company. Wouldn't even been worth the paper that it was written on. But, like now there's these additional things, like you already have an amazing team, right? You're already one of the top producing teams. I believe you just got put on the Zillow advisory board. So congrats for that. You already run an amazing team. And now you just took your value prop that was already here and literally shot it through the roof because you just added so much more opportunity for your agents. And now, being a part of, rather than the small independent, which is cool, but now you're tapping into a global company that's launching. I think we're launching like 4 more countries in the first quarter of this year. This company is in over 10. This company is in over 10 countries right now. We're launching in Brazil and in India and South Africa. We just launched in Puerto Rico and Mexico and Canada, and Australia and UK. Like this company's everywhere. And now you have that opportunity to expand your reach with the marketing to where you can reach so many more people. So it's going to be a really good thing for you, for your agents, for your clients, all the way around. So I'm excited that after 3 years, you finally came to the conclusion. But I know I told you this previously, but I want to share this on this live, is that there's a Chinese proverb, right, that says the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time's today. And so I'm glad that today you're planting that tree. and going to establish some solid roots here with us at EXP. And I'm excited for the future.
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity. And, you know, one other thing that I want to say real quickly is, and then he's all yours. One thing that I wanted to share is, you know, in this, you know, I'm used to having really great, incredible brokers, managing brokers. And so being independent, it was really a great opportunity for me to kind of prove that I could do it for myself. And meeting the EXP broker, who is versed in everything you need to be versed in Colorado, that knows our local marketplace, lives just, you know, 40 minutes from, willing to come on and with us. That has been really incredible for us. And that's how I knew it was right, was the broker that we were going to be setting up with. So I'm super excited about that as well. Brokers matter. Who you work with matters, brokers matter.
And the cool thing is now your agents have more support too, right? Because now in addition to having you help them, now they have multiple brokers to support them. And it's on demand with the EXP world and the cloud. It's crazy. You just literally walk in a room and the brokers are standing there waiting to help you. Whereas, you know, in a normal brokerage, there's one broker, and rarely are they ever available. Where here, you just walk in a room and they're sitting there waiting, ready to help you. And you're getting that on-demand support, which is amazing with the cloud, right? Like we talked about the stock a little bit, like why is the stock doing what it's doing is because this company was built for COVID. Like it was built to run remotely. And you know, if you look at our stock, this is kind of crazy to look at. So if you're watching this, I encourage you to go fact check me after the fact. But if you take the value of Realogy, the value which owns Century 21, Sotheby's, Coldwell Banker, all those brands, plus the value of Remax, and then you multiply it by 2, it still doesn't even equal the value of EXP. And the reason for that is that those companies are not built for this. They're all trying to adapt. They're trying to morph, but they're just not built for it. Where EXP, we ran both of our conferences last year. All the other companies didn't run a conference because they didn't know how to adapt to it. Yeah.
You gotta eat this.
Oh, I gotta eat a bagel. It's important. All the other companies were not built for this. Where we were this week alone, there's 60 hours of training in EXP world. And a lot of that training is led by people like you, by people like me, by people like Dan Beer, right? Like the education, everything about this company, it was just built for this. And so as we've gone through COVID, there's been a spotlight put on EXP because people realize like this company's been around for 11 years, but nobody paid attention to it until COVID. And they're like, oh my gosh, there's actually a real estate company built for this world that we live in now, this world that we're moving into. And that's why all the money's flown into it, is because people didn't know it existed. Now that people realize like, oh my gosh, this thing's amazing. And it's been quite a rise, and it's attracted a lot of amazing people like you. And I know we have another amazing person we're going to be introducing on Friday as well. So I'm excited for that.
We do. Yes. I'm excited for that.
All right. Well, I'm going to go take this one for a quad ride. If you are watching this, I strongly encourage you, if you have further questions on EXP, reach out to Treasure. I know she'd love to set up some one-on-one time with you, learn a little bit more about you, what your goals are, see if it's a fit for you, see if joining our mastermind group is going to be what you need to get you to that next level. So Treasure, from the bottom of my heart, I am so freaking excited. This is going to be an amazing ride together. And I really, really look forward to the future.
Me too. Have a great day, and thanks for the opportunity. Bye.